This is Christine Darden. You probably haven't heard her name as much as the guys who walked on the moon, but let me tell you, without her, the future of flying would be a lot louder and a lot slower. We're talking about one of the biggest brains NASA ever had, a woman who basically spent her whole life trying to figure out how to make a plane go faster than sound without making everyone on the ground go deaf. Back in 1967, she started at NASA's Langley Research Center. But they didn't hire her as an engineer. Back then, they had this thing called human computers. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it was just a fancy way of saying women who are really good at math. Her job was to sit in a room and process the numbers for the male engineers. She'd take these huge stacks of data and crunch them by hand so the guys could figure out how to build their rockets and planes. She was incredible at it, but she knew she was being shortchanged. She looked around and saw men who had the exact same math degrees she did, but they were being given engineering titles and real projects, while she was stuck in the pool just doing the homework. Most people would have just kept their heads down and cashed the check, but she didn't work like that. She walked right into a big shot director's office and asked a very simple, very direct question. Why is it that the men with my background get to be engineers, and I'm still a computer? That wasn't just a question. That was a challenge. She had the facts on her side, and the director knew it. They moved her to the engineering section, and that's when her real career took off. She wasn't just checking someone else's math anymore. She was writing the book on how flight actually works. Her specialty was something called sonic booms. Now look, when a plane flies faster than the speed of sound, it creates these massive shockwaves in the air. It's like a boat creating a wake in the water, but with air, it's much more violent. When those shockwaves hit the ground, you get a boom so loud it can break windows, scare livestock, and drive people crazy. Because of that, the government actually made it illegal for supersonic planes to fly over land in the United States. That meant if you wanted to fly from New York to LA in 2 hours, you couldn't do it. The noise was the wall keeping us from the future. Darden spent 25 years, a huge chunk of her life, solving that one specific problem. She didn't just want to make the planes fast, she wanted to make them quiet. She developed complex computer models to predict exactly how the air would behave when it hit different parts of a plane. She discovered that if you changed the shape of the nose or the wings in very specific ways, you could flatten those shockwaves out. Instead of a giant bang that shakes the neighborhood, you'd get a quiet thump that people might not even notice. She wasn't just a researcher in a back room, either. She was a leader. By 1989, she was the head of NASA's sonic boom team. She was the one calling the shots and managing the projects that were trying to bring high-speed travel back to the public. Over her career, she published more than 50 technical papers. That's 50 times she put out research that moved the entire world of science forward. Every one of those papers was a brick in the foundation of modern aviation. Her historical impact is huge, but it was hidden for a long time. She's one of the women we now call hidden figures. While everyone else was focused on the astronauts and the big rocket launches, she was doing the grinding work of making sure those machines could actually fly through our atmosphere without causing chaos. In 1999, she hit the top of the mountain. She was promoted into the senior executive service at NASA Langley. She was the first African-American woman to ever reach that level there. That's the highest tier of leadership you can get in the government. She wasn't just part of the team, she was one of the people running the show. The most important fact about her, though, is that her work is still the gold standard. Right now, NASA is testing a plane called the X-59. It's a specialized jet designed specifically to fly faster than sound over land without the loud boom. And do you know whose math they used to design that plane? Christine Darden's. Even though she's retired now, her fingerprints are all over the next generation of flight. She took a job where she was supposed to be a human calculator and turned herself into an aerospace powerhouse. She saw a problem, the noise that stopped us from flying fast, and she used pure math and direct action to fix it. She didn't use jargon or try to sound smarter than everyone else. She just produced the results that proved she was the best in the room. That's the legacy of Christine Darden. She quieted the thunder so the rest of us could eventually fly faster.
For this is the end.